The Cambridge University Students' Union, or KUSU, is one of the least understood organisations in the whole of the university. Many don't know what it does, and when people do hear about KUSU, it is usually for its fiery presidential elections and for memes of former President Amate Doku. But what does KUSU actually do? Do they serve a purpose? I went to Cambridge to find out once and for all what KUSU is and what it does. It took me a while to find KUSU because it was located right next to a grubby looking car park on 17 Mill Lane.
Hi, I'm Daisy, I'm the KUSU president. Welcome in.
It didn't even have a proper sign outside the building. I was anxious to see what lay inside. So Daisy, with all due respect, a lot of people are saying that KUSU is a bit of a useless organisation, that it's just full of people who like to pretend to be important. So I guess my first question is, what does KUSU do?
Ron, thank you so much for asking that question. As president, in my presidential capacity, that is my favourite question. If students can see what exactly it is that we do day to day here, they're not going to think that the student union is buzzword centrale. They're going to understand day to day exactly what it is that we do.
Right. So what do you do?
We do so many things, Ron.
Daisy seemed like a typical politician and didn't give me straight answers. I decided just to ask her to show me around KUSU.
Here we are. This is our office. This is the hub, the core, the beating heart of our organisation. This is the graduate union, and this is our lounge. I spend a lot of time in here. I think about the big questions: engagement, representation, engagement, the representation, engagement. Come on over here.
It was obvious that the president loved her buzzwords. To get a better understanding of KUSU, I needed to get away from her and talk to some of the other officers.
Hi, I'm Olivia, the KUSU Access Officer.
So what's your role?
So my role is to ensure that any student, regardless of background, considers going to university. And I run a really cool project called the Shadowing Scheme that any Cambridge student can get involved with. Prospective students come to Cambridge for 3 days to see what student life is really like.
I'm Misha, I'm the KUSU GU Welfare and Rights Officer, and I work on issues related to student mental health and wellbeing. I'm the organiser of the Sexual Health Scheme and also the lead officer of the Student Advice Service, which is located just in our lounge.
So the Students' Union's Advice Service, or SUAS, is a service that exists for all Cambridge University students. That's undergraduate and graduate students from all 31 colleges. We're free, confidential and independent, and we can help students with pretty much any issue.
Without Daisy around, I started to understand a bit more about all the work that KUSU does. For example, it turns out that KUSU is partially made up of 6 ex-student sabbatical officers who each have a certain role. But this office and its president intrigued me somewhat. It was unlike any office I've ever seen before. I needed to find out more.
What are your names and what do you do?
I'm Lola, I'm the KUSU Women's Officer, and my job is basically to represent all self-defining women and non-binary students across the university and run political campaigns on issues that affect them. One of the things that I'm really excited about working on this year is the new rollout of the university-wide sexual assault procedure, which is the first of its kind in Cambridge.
I'm Florence, I'm the Disabled Students Officer, and I'm here for all self-defining disabled students in the university, which includes those with mental health difficulties. One of my big priorities this year is physical accessibility, so making sure Cambridge's students can actually get into the buildings and facilities we provide.
Me and Lola are heads of 2 of Cambridge's 5 liberation groups. And you can find us here at KUSU in Liberation Corner.
Those 5 liberation groups are the Women's Campaign, the Disabled Students Campaign, the International Students Campaign, the BME Campaign, and the LGBT+ campaign.
I'm Martha and I'm the Education Officer. This means I'm responsible for ensuring that academic life at Cambridge reflects the needs of students. I do this by sitting on over 25 committees, I support faculty reps, and I also run the Student-Led Teaching Awards. On top of this, I campaign against national policies on fees and the marketisation of higher education.
So over the course of the day, I started to realise that actually KUSU does a lot.
Yeah, I think we do. We're basically 6 full-time officers working hard to try and make student life better and better. We want people to understand what KUSU has to offer, whether that's support from a liberation group, the services we offer on reception like printing, binding and bike gear, or just support from our Students' Union Advice Service. We want people to engage with KUSU, whether it is accessing our services, bringing us a complaint about university life, or even a campaign idea.
As I listened to Martha speak, it dawned on me that maybe, just maybe, we were all underestimating KUSU. As I looked around the hard-working faces of these officers, watched over by the warm gaze of Amate Doku, I started to realise KUSU was more than just a students' union. It was a community that was fully committed to the well-being of every student at the university. Somebody once told me that not all heroes wear capes. I never really understood what that meant, Until now.